Hi guys, Canadian Hunter here. So I'm working in the garage tonight on my Tikka T3x Hunter, and what I've done, and you can maybe tell by the tape, is I've tried to do, I'm going to call it a little bit of a bedding job, and I'll explain in a sec kind of what I did. So, and actually why I did it. So the Tikka T3x Hunter is a nice sort of, wood stock. But if you know how the Tikka rifles bed, there's a floating recoil lug that sits in the stock, and the barrel is grooved, and that sits in there. But and maybe this was worse on this wood stock than on the plastic stock, but I noticed that as soon as you loosen your action screws, this whole action wiggles lots in this stock, so there's lots of slop, and that really pissed me off. And what I noticed was, and I'll tell you why I did that in a sec, is that when you suck down the action screws, you can technically have the barrel tight, so say 30 inch-pounds, but the barrel is slightly canted to the left, center, slightly canted to the right. And that really bugs me. I think that that's really going to make it inconsistent for the Zero. If I dropped this gun, if you, God forbid, loosen your action screws or take it out of the stock, the action on the stock, put it back in, I don't think you're going to get, so you might get the same Zero, but I don't think so. So what I've done here, just to be sure that I'm centered, I'll try and make sure I'm in focus here, is I've used two pieces of double-sided tape, and I started with one and I went to two. And this basically is just making sure that the barrel is centered in the stock before I bedded it. And then obviously it keeps it elevated as well, so it's nice and free floated. So basically I'm using this to center the barrel. Okay, and then what I've done, in fact all I did was, the recoil lug sits in the stock. I sprayed lots of Hornady one-shot lube on the recoil lug, tons of Hornady one-shot lube anywhere that I figured JB Weld's going to touch. That's what I used to do this tonight. And the way the wood stock works is in front of the recoil lug, there's a bit of a void that's probably about 1.5 inches, and then things progress from there in the stock where you want it to be free floated. So really I just filled in the front with JB Weld, pushed everything in, sucked down the action screws, and that's it. And what I'm going to gain there, I think, is that the front part, so when the recoil lug, when I'm done, I hope is still, everything's going to come apart. We'll see tomorrow what happens when I pull this apart, but I use lots of Hornady one-shot lube. If that recoil lug is stuck to the gun and comes out of the stock attached to the gun, I'll be able to just heat it up and break it off. That'll be fine. Clean it up a little bit, put it back in the stock. Definitely no JB Weld got down into where the recoil lug sits in the stock. I didn't cover the recoil lug. I just sort of put JB Weld up to it, and it was good enough of a fit in the stock that nothing's going to kind of leak down in there, so we should be good there. My second worst case scenario is that the recoil lug is locked in the stock, and if it is, I don't really give a shit, actually. I don't care, because then it'll break free from the action. It'll just be bedded into the stock, which in my mind is fine. These T3Xs have better recoil lugs than the old Tikka T3s, so they're steel, I believe, not aluminum recoil lugs, so the chance of ever having to replace that is probably never. So, and again, what I'm gaining here is that when I pop this out, basically when I pop this out and I put this action back in the stock again and again and again, is that I should be lined up, right? There should be enough JB Weld that goes around, scoops around the barrel. It's going to give me a better bed in the front here, so it's going to hold things a little bit nicer. And really what it's given me is that when I pull the action on the stock again and put it back in to clean the gun or whatever it is that I'm doing, I should have the exact Zero that I had before I pulled it out, or very damn close. So we'll find out tomorrow when I pull it apart. But I've done lots of things like this. I've done lots of these kind of bedding jobs. And I've read online, people said, oh, you can't bed a Tikka T3X. Well, I'm going to prove otherwise. I'm pretty sure of it. So Well, guys, stay tuned, and I'll continue this video tomorrow, and I'll let you see what happened. Alright, it's been 24 hours, and I've been anticipating this moment, and I was a little bit worried about getting this out of the stock, the barrel apart, or the barrel out of the stock. It did take a little bit of heat, not too much, but I did have to put a little bit of gentle heat just to warm up the barrel a bit, and definitely had to apply some pressure to get it off, but this is the result now. I'm going to try zoom in without getting out of focus here. So the result is we have a nice bed in the front of this stock, and it's hard to see, but the recoil lug is now bedded in there. Let's try to do that. Okay, so the recoil lug is bedded in there now. Not that badly though. It's really just a little bit of material here and a little bit of material on this side. Try to turn that. That's sort of holding that in. I looked, it doesn't look like, yeah, it doesn't look like really any material got down between the stock and the recoil lug. So if I really wanted to get that recoil lug out, I could. But I kind of see it like now I've got this extra bedding in the front, plus the recoil lug is now properly affixed to this stock. You have two choices: fix it to the stock or fix it to the barrel. I'm not welding it to my barrel, and I had to do a little bit of cleanup on the barrel, but it came out really nice. There's just a little bit of extra JB weld that was still stuck to the barrel. So that is it. So to all those naysayers that say you can't do something of a bedding job on a Tikka rifle, yes you can. And I did notice that even though, like, once the action's in the stock, in the back here there is still some room, and it does wiggle around. If I was really picky, and I'm not going to do it now, I have to leave in like 3 days for a big 8-day hunting trip, is I would put a little bit of bedding material just along the edge here. I do that on both sides. In the back, I'm not sure if I would do that much. I would probably leave this. It's really that side to side motion that I wanna stop. Might do that over the winter. We'll see. That's a little bit more of a pain to do that. At least I think it is. Making a mess basically. So, well, that's it. Can you bed a Tikka T3x? Yes, you can. Will it be beneficial? We're not going to know till I put it back together and shoot it. It did shoot good before, but really what I wanted to do is, like I'd said in my video earlier, is that when you put this action in the stock, there was so much movement going on that I want to cut down on that. So really want to just create consistency, and I want to have it where if I take the action out of the stock and put it back in, hopefully my zero is roughly kind of where it was and it's not all over the place. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, hit that like button. As always, please click subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm definitely going to try get to the range, and I want to just shoot this a couple times before I go hunting, because I'm anticipating my zero has changed now. And stay tuned for that video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.